Hi everyone, this is Dartboard review channel. Today we got two most popular dartboard in the market, and they both feature functions, which is online battle, so that you can play with your friends or opponents at home. So I know many of you have a question about which one you should buy, and today I want to try to review different aspects to give you some ideas. So these aspects will be either hardware or software, and it will be either its appearance, build quality, user friendliness, and most importantly, the online play. So let's start review. So let's start with the appearance. I would say this is pretty subjective, and this is really my own opinion. Well, I would say the Vdarts dartboard, the design is alright, but there are some kind of details which I don't like. You see the font here, printing the Vdarts H2, and the big brand here, and also the OK and the Bluetooth like symbol here. I would say it's alright, but it doesn't give me a really premium design. And most importantly, if you notice, and you are fans of soft tip dartboard, you'll notice that this dartboard is exactly the same design as the Darts Live 100S, which is actually released a few years ago. So here's Darts Connect. Most importantly, and first of all, is an original design. And it fits well at my home, and it got two colors, black and white, which I think it will suit more people's taste. And you can see there's none of the unnecessary details here. The only thing that's printed on the dartboard is the Darts Connect, which is also printed on the button. And I quite like the design as well as the like camera symbol here. So at this aspect, I will give it 1 point to Darts Connect over Vdarts. So the second area will be the build quality. First thing first is that Vdarts doesn't look like a really cheap Taobao product. Generally it's okay. However, I think it's not as solid as I want. It feels like quite empty when you do this. And there's some like details which is not that right. You can see this is easily fixed. But however, I don't quite like it when it's come out should be new. And we can like examine different segments. I would say the boot is quite spongy and not that solid. You can see so. For other segments, it's okay, it's quite solid. And for these like numbering, I think it's alright overall. Compared to the Vdarts, I would say the Darts Connect feels better. When I examine different segments, I would say every segment feels very solid and not spongy, especially the boot. As you can see so. And it also feels quite like well built and not as empty as Vdarts. Especially like the switch. They kind of feature a mechanical switch, and I think it's worth it for the extra cost. When you press it, it kind of rebounds very easily. When it comes to build quality, however, one of the most key aspects will be the noise reduction, because none of us want to affect our families when we practice. So now we are using a decibel meter to measure the noise generated by each dartboard. Let's start. So you can see the maximum noise generated by Vdarts is 80 decibel. How about Darts Connect? So as you can see, the maximum noise Darts Connect created is 77 decibel. 3 decibel less than Vdarts. I would say it's not a big difference, and you will probably not be able to hear the difference. But overall, I will give build quality, I will give Darts Connect 1 mark in this aspect, which is build quality. So right now we have 2 to 0. So the third aspect is user friendliness for the hardware. I would say generally Vdarts is really convenient to set up. You just turn it on and it's blinking blue here, and you turn on the app. It will automatically connect eventually, which is really quick and convenient. The one thing I don't like is the plug, which is with the package. As you can see, the plug is just 1 meter long, which is not long enough to touch the ground. So if your power source is at the ground, there's no way for you to connect it unless you buy a new cable. Otherwise, you have to work around like us to either use the table here so that you can connect to the power source. So for the Dartboard Connect, I would say the initial setup is pretty painful. It takes around 5 to 10 minutes and it's kind of confusing for the Dartboard to remember your home Wi-Fi. But once you get it done for the second and third time, it actually automatically connects to your iPad, as convenient as Vdarts. And something I like about it is the power plug. Unlike Vdarts, it uses a micro USB here and it's 2 meters long, which is very user-friendly. And because it's micro USB, means you can also use a power bank. And last but not least, the Dartboard Connect can be powered by batteries, so it can go completely wireless. So for this aspect, I will give them a tie. So both Dartboard Connect and Vdarts got 1 point. So we've come to the fourth aspect, which is the visual design. As you can see, Vdarts use a 3D design, which is pretty nice. Everything is quite colorful, and you have these amazing graphics at the background. And also we can show you the animation. So the animation is 3D, and I would say it's pretty amusing. 3 in the back. Here comes Dartboard Connect. As you can see, everything is 2D, supported by a very simple red and blue film. We don't have those amazing graphics as the background. And for the animation, it's 2D as well. So for this visual design aspect, I'll give 1 mark to Vdarts. And right now, for Dartboard Connect, we have 3 marks. For Vdarts, we have 2 marks, 3 to 2. So we've come to the fifth aspect, which is the user-friendliness of the app. First thing I'd like to discuss is how you register for an account. So for Vdarts, you have to actually register for 1 username, and this process could be very troublesome because you have to enter different kind of information, such as your mobile phone number, your address, and you have to create an email address as well. And there's no option such as the Facebook login or other social media login. For whatever reasons, I cannot register for an account with the iPad version, and I can only do so with the Android and through the PC. For the app itself, I won't say Vdarts is very hard to navigate, but there are many layers when I try to start a game. There are these kind of unnecessary spinning. It's hard to see what options I have. When I try to start a 0-1 game, there are many things you have to go into. First, I have to choose 301, 501, and different kind of players, a lot of different layers and loading. Dartboard Connect, you can also choose the option of registering your own account, and everything is very easy when you set up, unlike Vdarts. And most importantly, I think there is a Facebook login, which is just 1 click. So provided you have logged in to your Facebook in your smart devices, everything is simple and just 1 click. For the app design, I would say it's very easy to navigate. Everything is on 1 page. You can see there are different options, and I think they will add more games in the future. You can also choose all these advanced features here just in 1 page, including like different kind of players, round, separate pool, and the game you want. There's also none of the unnecessary loading, and the game can be started in a very short period of time. For this aspect about user friendliness for the software, I will give Dartboard Connect 1 mark. So right now we have 4 to 2. Dartboard Connect have 4 marks, Vdarts has 2 marks. So here comes the last aspect, which is the online battle function. One thing I particularly like Vdarts is that they have a game lobby function, where you can go into that and then see who's online and challenge them. Currently, Dartboard Connect is lacking this function, although they claim that they will be introducing soon. The one thing that Vdarts doesn't have is that they don't have the add friends function. So if you want to play with your best friend, you have to both go into the lobby and find each other. But Dartboard Connect is more simple. You can just add them friend and directly challenge them. For the Vdarts, they have this live video streaming function, and you can use it kind of in the online battle, although sometimes it's not quite stable. But one thing you have to be cautious is that Nobody can be always setting the iPad under the dartboard, just like this setting we are reviewing today. So it means that sometimes the video streaming is not that useful as you cannot see the opponent, so that it cannot prevent cheating. For Darts Connect, they have this built-in camera. Although it cannot stream video, it can only just take photo. But as it is built-in, so everyone is actually forced to use it. And it can be a very, very effective tool for us to actually prevent cheating. So for this aspect, I'll give Darts Connect and Vdarts a tie. So this comes the end of our review. Darts Connect has 5 marks and Vdarts has 3 marks. Right now I would say overall Darts Connect is a better product, but you are also paying a higher price premium to get it. Darts Connect is selling around 240 to 260 US dollars, and for Vdarts it's selling around 200 to 220 US dollars. So you're paying a little bit more, around 30 to 40 US dollars to get Darts Connect. Overall, I would say we are happy to see this healthy competition between these two competitors so that they can improve their software. And we're definitely more willing to see more and more people joining the online platform so that we can easily find more opponents. If you have any questions, feel free to leave your comments below and I will try to answer that according to my experience. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.